Our goaltenders are brought to you by your Southeast Michigan Ford dealers, Jimmy Howard and Jonathan Bernier. Jimmy Howard coming off a 28-save shutout in Columbus Tuesday. Jonathan Bernier stopped 26 of 28 in Thursday's win here over Tampa Bay. So much talk here in Toronto about Mike Babcock, who's an unrestricted free agent as coach. They want him here desperately. Randy Carlyle coaching this year. Will he be here after this year? Maybe not. And here's what Cathal Kelly said, a writer in the Globe and Mail today. He isn't coaching this season. He's professionally bleeding out. They ought to carry him to the bench every night on a stretcher. Nonetheless, Carlyle has to speak every day, and every time he does so, he seems a little more despondent. By February, says Cathal Kelly, he'll be doing the postgame in his bathrobe, smoking a cigarette. I'll tell you what. It's never a dull day for Randy Carlyle, and you know what? He seems more at ease because he's just going with the flow. He's got no control over it. Whatever's going to be, will be. Que sera, sera.
Yeah, this team is continuously under a ton of scrutiny. And you know, Ken, really, they're on a two-game losing streak. Every team has those. Talking with Brendan Shannon today, it's how you bounce back and react. They did well against Tampa. Have to do the same thing again here tonight.
And we're underway as Franzen tips in. He starts with Nyquist and Zetterberg. The Leafs countering with Peter Holland, Daniel Winnick, and David Clarkson, number 71, a big free agent signing over a year ago. Clarkson had 6 goals all of last season. He's got 6 already this year. Clarkson goes up after the puck along with Kronwall. Took him into the end boards as Franzen was back. He gets bumped. The Leafs among the league leaders in hits in the National Hockey League. Taken away there by Holland, hooked a bit by Franzen, and it's going to be a penalty. 36 seconds into the game.
Well, you can see that right away. Franzen applied the stick to Holland. Right away, the referee made a call that's obviously showing us there a pretty simple call for him to make. This is going to be called all the time. You get that stick on the hands of Holland and loses the puck because of that hook that Franzen applied. And Red Wings are going to go on an early, the Maple Leafs are going to go on an early power play here.
They are 0 for 7 against Detroit in the previous 2 meetings as the Red Wings won 4-1 here and 1-0 in overtime at home. The Leafs power play 10th in the league, Red Wing penalty killing 2nd best. So the first extra man advantage tonight to Toronto. That one failed to click. And Phaneuf will have to go back. He's back there with Cody Franzen, number 4, who's riding a 9-game point streak for Toronto. And the big line up front for the Maple Leafs, Kessel, number 81, Bozak, number 42, James Van Riemsdyk is number 21. Back to get it is to Kaiser. Left it there, and Luke Glendening will get it down the ice. He'll immediately go off in a change.
Well, Ken, although their power play is 10th in the National Hockey League, it's 18th at home. Maybe feeling the pressure from the crowd. The Maple Leafs are going to try and simplify things here. Bozak with 5 power play goals already this year. Look for him to be a factor. The Red Wings must watch him.
Phaneuf put it in front of the goal. Joachim Anderson's there, and he'll get it down the ice. The Red Wings have killed off all 7 attempts by Toronto in the 2 games as Kessel's got it deep. Good skating forward, gets one ahead to Nazem Kadri. Back in for Kessel, tapped it back into the slot, and Clarkson couldn't bury that. It was bouncing on him. Goes back to the line to Riley, now to Jake Gardiner, back for Morgan Riley. Clarkson down low, through the legs. Kadri, neat little play there that didn't work. Good keeping at the line though by Riley. Swings one in down low, Kadri to Gardiner, and a save by Howard. Kessel with a second effort, got one back to Gardiner. For Riley, the 2 youngsters on the back end. Riley's shot tipped in front of the goal and over top of Jimmy Howard. Loose puck grabbed there by Kronwall after Eriksson stepped into his check. So a good job done here by the Red Wing penalty killing unit with Franzen in the box for another 10 seconds, he hopes. Riley swings one line wide, and stepping up was Lashoff, and the puck deflected up and out of play.
And through all the criticism, the Maple Leafs have been under scrutiny of late. They're still not a bad hockey club. Tied for 14th in wins with 10. This team can score goals, and the Red Wings got to be aware of that tonight. They got to be tight defensively. Their power play has been good with over 20%, and that's what most teams strive for. So this Maple Leaf team, not as bad as what people are making them out to be.
Top 5 in goals for, 3rd, as you know, and bottom 6 in goals against. They're 24th in goals against.
And that's really been their main problem here for the last 2 or 3 seasons, keeping that puck out of their own net.
Franzen out of the box, so the Red Wings back at full strength. That's Miller. Carries into the corner. It stopped in his track. Able to kick one back. Out of the corner came Zetterberg, who's been in on all 5 goals Detroit has scored this year against Toronto, as Bernier stopped that up high. Bozak now able to find it. Puck is cleared back to the Toronto line and knifed in there by Zetterberg, who will go off in a change. Tapped back by Van Riemsdyk. The veteran Stefan Robidas to center. He's a healthy scratch in the first meeting here against Detroit. Brought in by Riley Sheahan. Into the glove of Jonathan Bernier, taking no chances. He'll hold on for a face-off. Henrik Zetterberg, the Red Wing captain, with a lot of success against this Maple Leaf squad this year and in his career. As we look at our Flagstar Bank Star Watch, the overtime winner at Joe Louis Arena. What an exciting night that was, and a 1-0 Red Wing win, and set up all 4 goals in the 4-1 victory here.
And no surprise at all, Toronto being a rival of Detroit always has been, but they play each other a little more now. They're in the same division. No surprise, Henrik Zetterberg plays great against the Maple Leafs.
Leo Komarov, who's been terrific this season, returning from the Continental Hockey League. He was with Toronto the year before, number 47. He went after Abdelkader. Komarov doesn't miss a chance to put a body on, neither does Abdelkader in that regard, as Abdelkader just finished his check, and the puck bounces out to center for Thomas Tatar. Eriksson across for Kronwall. For Darren Helm. He had a nice night in his return to Winnipeg, and the comeback victory by Detroit the other night. Darren Helm was 13-1 in the faceoff dot. Nazem Kadri threw it back to the line, but the Leafs were changing, so Phaneuf has it. 85-foot pass to Jake Gardiner. Saw the hit coming from Yurko. As the Red Wings will set up deep. Xavier Ouellet. His second game this season as a Red Wing. Jakob Kindl, a healthy scratch tonight. Stephen Weiss trying to make his return. He's in Grand Rapids playing again tonight. And Pavel Datsyuk missing another game with a groin injury. Hopefully he'll be back soon. He is day-to-day. Did skate this morning. Red Wings took yesterday off when they arrived here. No icing. Red Wings had just an off-ice workout at a nearby arena in downtown Toronto. Elected not to skate. They jam in there as Glendening, along with Miller, finally came free for Cody Franzen. Levo couldn't clear. De Kaiser at the point. Shot just sailed wide. And we've got a high sticking call going against Detroit.
Detroit penalty number 41. 2 minutes for high sticking.
Luke Glendening battling in front of the Maple Leaf net for position. Gets a stick up on the Maple Leaf defenseman, Dion Phaneuf. Trying to gain an offensive advantage. Just right in front of the net here. There you see him, battling for the puck. Battling for position, just gets a stick up.
So second power play of this game for the Maple Leafs. Riley kept it in at the line. Moves it near side to Nazem Kadri. It went wide. Jake Gardiner keeps it in. Too far for Kadri. Getting over there was Clarkson. Back for Kadri. Tried to go into Peter Holland. That didn't work. Riley at the point, and it's tipped by Darren Helm. And back out to center it goes.
And a great play by Darren Helm, who's really seems to be finding his legs here at this part of the season. He's had 7 points this year. He's playing great defensively and offensively now. He seems to be really finding his game here 20 games into the season.
And Helm miraculously has played all 20 games of the season, missed the preseason with injury, so it took him a while to catch up in that regard.
And that's the most important part of it. A healthy Helm really rounds out the 4 lines. The Red Wings is an important part of this team.
Drew Miller able to get it into Leaf territory as Cody Franzen turns. Now Dion Phaneuf, their captain, who played career game 700 on Thursday. Van Riemsdyk getting it back through to Bozak. Chris mentioned the Leaf leader in power play goals with 5. Kessel, their team leader in goals, has 11. Back here for Dion Phaneuf. Moves it back. Kessel, one-timer. That was blocked. Cody Franzen got over. Now Kessel on the near side. Kessel back to the line. Rink-wide feed to Franzen. Over top of the net. Kessel's got it again. To Franzen. And Howard got a piece of that. From up the shot. Rising high over the right arm of Jimmy Howard. De Keyser tied up Franzen. Kessel back in front of the goal. What a save! Oh, Howard got over post to post. And the penalty is over as Glendening is out of the box. Franzen, another shot. Howard there again. Comes back to Phaneuf. Kessel lost it. Quincy tapped it around for Abdelkader. Abdelkader gets mauled down at the line. Boy, Jimmy Howard came up huge there. He's second in the National Hockey League in save percentage in shorthanded situations. Jimmy's save percentage is .938. Showed it right there.
Well, they say your goaltender has to be your best penalty killer. Red Wings penalty kill second in the league, and a big reason for their success this year. But smart plays also by the players helps as well. Nifty play here by De Keyser, and then Eriksson getting nice finish on the check support, and then Helm with a nice stick to knock the puck out, and then a block here by Abdelkader as well. This is a total team effort. Yes, this hits the post. Red Wings doing a great job of boxing the Leafs out, allowing Quincy to get that puck, and eventually the Red Wings got it out. The Red Wings doing a great job all over the ice to help their goaltender, who's been great on the penalty kill, but so have his teammates this season.
Only Semyon Varlamov in shorthanded situations has a better save percentage than Jimmy Howard's .938, and that in shorthanded time is a remarkable number. When you're over 900 is amazing.
And people ask what's the difference between Jimmy Howard from this year and last, and he's been great on the penalty kill. His save percentage is way better than it was the previous season.
And that's why the Red Wings penalty kill second in the NHL. Back behind the net, Franzen picking up his mitt and then went down. Cleared by Clarkson past Xavier Ouellet. Ouellet stumbling, getting back up. Clarkson carried on. Clarkson, shot by Winnick, sailed wide of the goal. Back to the point, Roman Polak kept it in. Clarkson checked by Lashoff. Peter Holland with it, former Anaheim Duck. Back of the goal for Winnick. They were teammates together and played with one another. Holland and Winnick in Anaheim. Here comes Tatar, forced wide by Polak. Gardner over. Gardner got one ahead for Holland, knocked down here. Tatar on the intercept, back into the slot, and the shot goes off the stick and high from Abdelkader. Glove down by Eriksson. For Riley Sheahan. Sheahan protecting that puck, goes to the line with it. Eriksson a shot and a save by Jonathan Bernier. Kronwall stepped up, took his man out. Loose puck here for Nazem Kadri. Or Komarov rather, turning with it. Back into the slot. Good save, Howard. And another one. Two big saves. And the second one is he stoned Kadri.
Well, Jimmy Howard playing with supreme confidence here tonight in Toronto. He's been great all season. A nice little pass by Kadri back, and Jimmy Howard not only gets the first one with that great positioning of his glove hand, it's there already. Barely has to move to make a save, stays square to the puck, eyes on the puck, focused, makes the second save as well, and corrals that rebound in. Great goaltending by Jimmy Howard. Quiet goaltending, which made those saves look so easy and so good.
Popped up there by De Keyser as the puck came in front of the goal. And a bouncer went over Cleary's stick. That enabled the Leafs to keep it in. De Keyser missed Helm with the pass. So wrapped right back in by Van Riemsdyk, who's out with Kessel and Bozak. Yurko with Cleary and Helm, who gets to the puck. Got bumped there by Van Riemsdyk and in turn collided with Robidoux. Helm firing one, that got blocked. Another one in front. Oh, Cleary hit Yurko with it. Cleary at an open net, but a man in front of him. Now Kessel hopping on that loose puck. Phil Kessel from an acute angle, that went wide. And all the way down into the Maple Leaf zone. Kessel stopped in his tracks there by Zetterberg. Zetterberg with a perfect pass. Franzen puts on the brakes, waits for help. He's got it in Ouellet, and it's tipped over top of the goal. A lift to the stick by Zetterberg. That allowed the Red Wings Nyquist to get one back into Franzen. Back here for Gus Nyquist. Back to Ouellette. And Bernier out to stop that one. 30 seconds past the halfway point. First period. Red Wings hockey on Fox Sports Detroit.
Well, Pavel Datsyuk took a step forward today. Didn't practice with the team in Winnipeg, but today was on the ice in the morning skate with the Red Wings, and he missed 51 games a year ago. They want to make sure Pavel's 100% when he gets back. He looked good out there today. The record is good without him, but let's be honest. They miss him when he's not on the lineup offensively. They have a great record without Pavel Datsyuk, but still, Ken, he's a type of player. He's a game changer, and the Red Wings are a better team, obviously, when he's 100% in the lineup.
Red Wings have points in 9 of their past 11 games, and they've won their past 2, looking to sweep this 3-game road trip that began in a 5-0 win in Columbus. Here's Abdelkader with a shot that just went wide, and then a comeback win over Winnipeg a couple of nights ago, 4-3 in their building. Abdelkader back of the net. Need a big night there. So did Thomas Tatar, who's got the puck now, and it just sailed wide. Tatar had the game winner after Abdelkader tied it in Winnipeg. Tatar with a 2-goal night. Second on the Red Wings. And second in shots, too. Tatar has 50. Only Henrik Zetterberg has more by Detroit. And 56th than Thomas Tatar. So the Red Wings' 4th unit that's been together all year and all the mixing and matching. Here's Eriksson with a keep in at the line. Just too far for Drew Miller. Miller got pushed out of the way by Riley. Too far for Santorelli. Then a big hit put on Kronwall there by Kadri. As Santorelli's away on the right wing, but look at Glendening come back on him. Leo Komarov out of the corner. He scores!
After a great play by Luke Glendening on the back check after Cromwell was hit at the blue line of the Leafs. Luke Glendening did a very good job to get back here, but sometimes doesn't always work out. Komarov jamming this puck on Jimmy Howard, who makes the initial save. Unlucky bounce, goes off Eriksson and behind Jimmy Howard, but Red Wings really doing everything right here. Back check by Glendening. Eriksson collapses down to take Komarov. Just an unfortunate break. Saved by Howard. Ricochets off Eriksson in the net to put the Leafs up by 1.
So Jimmy Howard will play it around. The Leafs a perfect 7-0 this season when they get the first goal. Helm, second effort, able to get that puck out to center. That gets the crowd in the game with 8 minutes to go in the first period. As the puck is up and out of play, so we'll get a stop.
Well, this is how it all started. Big hit here by Kadri on Cromwell. Usually you see Cromwell making those checks and the speed by the Leafs, but Glendening doing a great job. And Komarov did a nice job to take that to the hole, take it to the net. Eriksson as well met him, challenged him physically. Just unfortunately made the first save by Howard, ricocheted off of Eriksson in the net, and these things happen. Red Wings got to bounce back now.
Zetterberg won that face-off as Red Wings keep control. Nyquist going back to the line with it to Lashoff. Moving in is Ouellette. Slapped at by Clarkson. Ahead to Daniel Winnick. The big forward gets shoved down to the ice by Lashoff. And then there's going to be a penalty here to Toronto as Zetterberg was dumped by Peter Holland. Delayed call coming here against the Maple Leafs as the Red Wings will head to their first power play of the game. Jimmy Howard heads to the bench as Zetterberg kicked one through and the play is called on the offside. But the Leafs are going to be shorthanded.
The Red Wings are going to get an opportunity to take this hot power play to try to make it work again. Just a really an unfortunate break for Holland, who gets his stick caught up on the skates of Henrik Zetterberg. And Red Wings have been so potent on the power play. An opportunity to get this game even here in the first period.
Well, the Red Wings in the first 2 wins did not score. They had 5 power plays in each game against Toronto. We're 0 for 5 in each game. But their power play, as Chris mentioned in our open, 10 power play goals the past 7. It's been red hot. Another face-off win there by Helm back to the line. Shane goes back to the point here for DeKeyser. To Thomas Tatar. Tatar, save made by Bernier. Tatar over to get it. Able to keep one in. DeKeyser. Shot went wide. Yurko. Shane, the other forward, couldn't pick it up. Played out by Wynn.
Underrated save by Bernier off Tatar, who really got a lot on that shot. A nice blocker save to put that away. I like the purpose right now of the Red Wings. Getting pucks to the net, shooting right away.
Helm sets up as Nyquist is on with him. DeKeyser back for Nyquist. Looked in front for Helm. Turning is Tatar. Loose here for Nyquist to stab at it. Hit a body and went wide. Good hustle by Tatar to keep it alive in Detroit's favor. Nyquist at the line, showing good hustle. Backhanded in front and just knocked wide. Nyquist another play back here for Helm. Helm circles out with it to the point to DeKeyser. Wrist shot. That hit a body in front and cleared out by Robidoux.
I'll tell you what, Ken, these kids are really playing well. Yurko looked really good out there. He looked sharp. Tatar obviously playing great. Nyquist playing great as well. These kids are really coming around. It's great watching the progression of these young guys and really putting a lot of pressure on Toronto. Just a couple of breaks, they would have had a goal there.
Franzen for Nyquist. Looked in front to Abdelkader. Back to the line it comes. Here's Zetterberg. Winding up, save by Bernier. Back in front of the goal. Zetterberg's got it again. The shot off the side of the net. Stepping up was Franzen. 15 to go in the Bell Tire power play for the Red Wings. Their first of the game. Toronto 0 for 2 on theirs. Back to the point. Kronwall to the corner for Zetterberg. Abdelkader couldn't collect it. Holland out of the box. So Detroit 0 for 1. Man advantage. Phaneuf. And it knocked down by Eriksson. Held in at the line, didn't come out. Here's Kessel to Gardner. Jimmy Howard way out on that. To deflect it up in the protective netting and out of play. You're watching Red Wings hockey on Fox Sports Detroit, presented by Bell Tire. Well, John, you just mentioned face-off, so let's talk about Darren Helm in that regard. As we mentioned, was so good in Winnipeg, winning 13 of 14. He's won 3 of 5 tonight, and he's starting at center here on a power play. Big face-off win. He's been so good this year that if you look at the numbers on the road in the National Hockey League, only the great Patrice Bergeron and then Jay McClement in Carolina are better than Darren Helm in face-off win percentage on the road. 58.7% for Darren Helm away from home. That's remarkable numbers.
And let's not forget, Darren Helm has missed a ton of hockey the last 2 seasons. Every game we move forward here, I noticed Darren Helm getting better, not only with his skating, but little plays like that. He's getting better on draws as we move along here. He's looking better and better every game moving forward, and that's good news for the Red Wings.
Scrambled face-off there as Glendening has his man tied up. Still underneath in the dot, and Miller able to push one back as Kronwall gives it to Eriksson. The Leafs like to use an aggressive forecheck, so the Red Wing defense will have to move it quickly tonight as Kronwall is back to get it. Now the Leafs retreat with 4 at center. So it's brought on by Glendening. Loose at the line as Levo gets hit there by Anderson. Stefan Robidoux deflected down into the Red Wing zone. Howard able to move it. Ouellette took a slap at the puck, then Anderson didn't get it where he wanted to go. No penalty called on that last play. Gardner took a shot. Howard the save with Levo right there. I'll give thanks for Red Wings hockey with the $59 fan pack when the Wings take on the Flyers this coming Wednesday. You'll get 2 tickets, 2 food vouchers, and 2 soft drinks. For tickets, call 313-471-7575 now. Ticket executives are standing by for the Wings and Flyers on Wednesday, November 26th. Peter Holland against Henrik Zetterberg. That's the matchup with last change that Randy Carlyle wants tonight. Right off the draw, goes to Nyquist. Has Franzen. Left wing, and a bouncer in wide of Jonathan Bernier. Nyquist and Zetterberg. Zetterberg kicking at it. Nyquist has it. Nyquist came out in front himself. And Bernier found that puck and he'll hold on. Well, a broken whistle there. So returning to action, Don Henderson, the veteran linesman. Even the linesmen have some issues.
And they definitely get a tough job, and usually they get it right a lot more times than they get it wrong. And all these guys do a fabulous job and are part of why the NHL is such a great sport.
Right through to Bernier. We'll hold on to that. Francois Saint-Laurent, Mike Lego are the referees tonight. Matt McPherson is the other linesman working this game. Third of 5 meetings between the Red Wings and the Leafs. Red Wings finishing up this 3-game road trip after tonight. 12 of their next 15 games will be at Joe Louis Arena. And after that, only 4 of their next 12 are at home up to the All-Star break. So from now over the next month, it's a huge stretch for the Red Wings to win games on home ice. Same story for the Maple Leafs. 8 of their next 10 are here at home. So big month for both these division rivals, Toronto and Detroit, who are needing to pick up the wins in front of the home crowd. Because for Detroit, it sure gets tougher in January and February, where 17 of 23 are away from home. So get the wins when you can, as the play is called on the offside. And just a reminder, as you enjoy a cold one, to look forward to Miller time later in tonight's game, brought to you by Miller Lite.
Now with all these home games coming up, the Red Wings have a chance to position themselves nicely for the second half of the season. Yes, Ken, they got a ton of road games, but this team has historically been a very, very good road team and a very good home team. So if they can play well these next 15 games, set themselves up for a nice little run in the second half of the season.
And there's going to be a call made here for holding. So for the third time tonight, Red Wings are going to be shorthanded.
And Franzen didn't appear to be too happy with this call. Had some choice words for the referee as he went by. This is right off the draw, but this is a penalty. This is an easy call for the referees to make. Takes that left hand off the stick, grabs the lead player right away. The ref is going to call it 100% of the time.
So another power play here for Toronto. Hit a body in front of Howard. As Glendening able to get it down the ice.
Now Jimmy Howard's doing a great job right now tracking pucks through traffic on the power play for the Leafs. It's a big reason, like we talked about before, why the Wings power play has been so good this year. But his ability to find pucks through bodies and traffic and with no rebound has been remarkable this season.
Dion Phaneuf for Cody Franzen. Shot bounced off a body and wide. Tap back here for Phil Kessel. Stick in the lane by Kronwall. Deflects back to center. Phaneuf back to get it. Phil Kessel playing in his 385th consecutive game tonight. He hasn't missed one since Halloween of 2009. And a big point producer for this Leaf team. Failing to get through was Glendening. Van Riemsdyk's got it. Second on the Leafs in points with 17. Bozak has a stick in there. Came free to Abdelkader. Nearly in front of his own goal to Kaiser. And down the ice it goes.
Well, great job by the Red Wings to collapse down around their own net and win those puck battles. And that's the #1 reason why this penalty kill is so good. The compete level is very high, and they're winning almost all those battles on a nightly basis.
Riley circles the net. Morgan Riley in his second season. Kadri looks back for Riley. Back to Nazem Kadri. Down low it goes for Holland. Kadri in back of the net. Back to the line to Riley. Penalty now over. Franzen out of the box. Ouellette forcing the issue there. Clarkson for for Riley, mishandled at the line. 5th overall pick of Toronto in 2012, Morgan Riley. David Clarkson. Kadri gets taken out of the play by Eriksson. Miller delayed, gives it to Zetterberg. Zetterberg up along with Franzen. Zetterberg goes wide, back in, and knocked away by Roman Polak, who's on defense with Stefan Robidas. 2 veterans acquired in the offseason by the Maple Leafs. Zetterberg trying to steal it from Polak. Moving in comes Eriksson for Nyquist. Holland defending on him. Eriksson able to keep it in as Franzen forced his man Kadri. And now the Leafs will dump it down as the first period comes to a close. An edge in shots by Detroit, but the edge in goals by 1 to Toronto. Henrik Zetterberg, the Red Wing captain, will guest with Trevor Thompson, and Darren Elliott and John Keating are in our studios. And welcome back to Toronto. Sandy Nolan, an account executive with Fox Sports Detroit and family, made the trip from Motown here to Toronto, and glad they're taking in this game. And now hoping their support will get the Red Wings even in this game as Open University brings you the report card on the history between these 2 great franchises that has been so close of late. 4 of the last 5 decided by a goal. The Red Wings have won the last 4. The only one they did not win was that Winter Classic at the Big House, and that was in the shootout. And Jimmy Devellano, Ken Holland, and Chris Draper. Drapes has had a busy day, busy weekend. His son Keenan playing for the O2 Little Caesars, and they're in the semifinals tomorrow morning. They're perfect 4-0 so far, so congrats to the O2 Caesars team. And Keenan, I didn't want to build up Keenan too much, so I just left it alone. I didn't ask Chris how great he was.
Chris wouldn't like you to either.
No.
Drapes loves coaching these kids. He's done a great job. He's been with them for many years. They're a very good team, and good luck tomorrow. They play early in the morning, the semifinal, and hopefully they win that and take it home in the final. So good luck, boys.
So second period is underway as Nyquist begins with Zetterberg and Franzen. Good coverage at center there by Kyle Quincy, who's on defense with Danny DeKeyser. And they'll have to defend now as the faceoff 14 seconds into the second. Comes back down ice, and the much maligned captain here in Toronto, who back in 08 was a finalist for the Norris Trophy, won by Nick Lidstrom. And Dion Phaneuf, no matter what happens, is the lightning rod, isn't he?
Yeah, he's the type of guy for the Maple Leafs. Being the captain, he needs to be the voice of reason, and the fans here don't think he's been that enough. And he is a +7 this year. He's improved himself defensively, but I think the fans look for him to be a better leader and provide that leadership role that this team so desperately needs.
Well, they've moved into playing the left side with the right-handed shots they have, including Franzen. DeKeyser got there to take it. And like Phaneuf on the left side, his correct side, so that he can see the ice better and make that pass. Shot in that Jonathan Bernier will hold on to, and a face-off coming up in the Maple Leaf zone. The Red Wings didn't have a whole lot of scoring chances in that first period. Maybe Ouellet's was the best. One chance on Bernier.
Well, they got to create some more opportunity, a lot more chances against Bernier in this Maple Leafs defense. They didn't get the puck down deep enough times and use that grind game. That's the Achilles heel of this Maple Leafs team. They're not very good in their own zone. Red Wings got to make their defense turn their backs. They will turn pucks over. They got to get pucks to Bernier and get bodies there, and they will win the battles against a Leafs team that's not very good defensively at all.
Red Wings with 13 shots, as you can see. Toronto has allowed the 4th most this season, an average of 33 a game. They allowed the most in the National Hockey League last season. So defending is not their forte. But they can outscore the opposition on many nights. Potent offense. Abdelkader interfered with, no call. Red Wing bench wanted one. Holland gave it away to Abdelkader, and it deflected off a stick. Up and out of play.
That's what pressure will do, Ken. This Maple Leafs team, you just have to get on them, skate, move your feet. You're going to create some turnovers, just like the Red Wings did there. The Leafs, like I said, they will turn that puck over big time. You can take advantage of that, but the Wings doing a better job so far in this second period. We're only a minute in, but getting pucks deep and making the Leafs play in their zone, and that's where they obviously don't want to be.
Here's Quincy. Played off the back of the net. Cleary, who's out there with Yurko and Helm. Yurko pushed it over to the near corner. Stefan Robidas for Toronto with a lead feed to Mike Santorelli. On here to Kadri. And a save by Jimmy Howard. Well, let's give you an update in Grand Rapids in your local Toyota dealers. The scouting report on Stephen Weiss, who scored again tonight. He scored in his first shift last night against Lake Erie in a Rapids win and scored tonight too. And he's playing on a line with Anthony Mantha and Kevin Porter, who had a recent overtime winner 3-on-3 for Grand Rapids.
And this is great for Stephen Weiss. I'm a big fan of his. He's went through a lot. It's not a very good injury that he has. It's a tough injury to come back from. All this can do is give him confidence moving forward. And good luck to him. Hopefully he gets back here soon and gets back to the old Stephen Weiss that we watched in Florida play so well for many years.
Big save there by Howard. Anthony Mantha also scored tonight for Grand Rapids. It's a big weekend for Stephen Weiss. And if he gets through this healthy, as you say, he'll be back up with the big club. And then it's up to Mike Babcock, coach's decision from that point when he gets into the lineup. But sort of a career weekend for him because he's got to stay healthy and get through this. And a shot by Levo will be held by Jimmy Howard.
Yeah, and back to Weiss, you can't help but cheer for him, Ken, the guy. Those hernia injuries are tough to come back from, and it's taken him a while. He's been hurt a lot, and like Helm, it's going to take some time for him to get his legs underneath him. But he seems to be doing well in Grand Rapids. He needs to play games, needs to get in game action to get that body back in game shape. And hopefully when he gets back to Detroit, he's going to be ready to go and he'll bring that confidence when he gets back. But like you said, it's up to Mike Babcock whether he's going to play or not. And Mike Babcock talked earlier about Stephen Weiss this season. He likes him. He likes his progression. Now it's just a matter of him getting game ready to get in that Red Wings lineup and produce.
And getting Stephen Weiss to Grand Rapids did cost the Red Wings. Andre Nestrasil picked up on waivers by Carolina as he had to clear to go down and didn't make it. The pass for Nyquist. He's bumped there by Phaneuf. Back to the point for Danny DeKeyser. Save made by Bernier. Rebound by Phaneuf. Van Riemsdyk to Bozak. Too far for Phil Kessel. Chases there with DeKeyser. James Van Riemsdyk put it in back of the goal. DeKeyser there to intercept. On it comes to Johan Franzen. And Franzen will just clear it to center. Since 2009, only Pavel Datsyuk has more goals as a Red Wing than Johan Franzen. Datsyuk with 136, Franzen with 103. 4 goals to pass 6 for big number 93. James Van Riemsdyk, who had a couple of goals against Tampa Bay in the Toronto win Thursday after they were blown out by both Buffalo and Nashville. They had lost 3 in a row before beating Tampa on Thursday. And prior to that, the Leafs only had 1 regulation loss in 8 games. So as we mentioned off the top, it's been that roller coaster for this home team here tonight. Tatar lost it off his stick. Back pressure by Sheahan. Forced Van Riemsdyk, who's at the end of a lengthy shift. Jake Gardner will dump one into the left wing offensive corner. Xavier Ouellet taken to the boards by Clarkson, but stayed with him. Cleared it to an open wing, but thankfully for Detroit, it went over Gardner's stick. Roman Polak's got it. From St. Louis for Carl Gunnarsson. Polak. Check Cleary. Ouellet going in there along with Winnick. Kicked by Helm. He gets checked. Out of the crowd with the puck came Ouellet. Over the head of Robidas. A race for the puck as Cleary goes after it. Cleary along with Morgan Riley, who took him out of the play. Off a Leaf skate. Have to race back. Eriksson being forced by Santorelli, who's got plenty of speed. Former Northern Michigan Wildcat, number 25 in blue. Neil Komarov, who's got the game's only goal. Left it there for Riley. His pass for Santorelli was too far. Who took Kronwall to the boards and came up with the puck, but then Kronwall recovers. Jonathan Eriksson's pass intended for Glendening, intercepted by Kadri. Yurko gets taken to the boards by Komarov. Glendening came back and punched one into Leafs territory. Riley for Robidas. 37-year-old. Move one to Kadri. Morgan Riley missed Komarov with it. This will be icing against Toronto. Stay tuned to Red Wings Live with John Keating following the game, where we will select the Fox Sports Detroit Red Wings player of the game, presented by McDonald's new fresh-baked McCafe Blueberry Muffin.
Red Wings doing a good job here in the second period of getting pucks deep. They haven't been rewarded for it yet, but they got to be persistent. That's been their forte this year. They've stuck with their game plan through the game's entirety, and in the end, it's paid off more times than not.
Zetterberg, in and out of the glove of Bernier. Ouellet. Turning back to get it again. Too far for Franzen. Blashoff thought better of pinching in as Robidas gets it ahead. 2 broken legs a season ago for Robidas. One with Dallas and one with Anaheim when he was then playing against Dallas. And just the fact that he was able to recover. Only played 38 games last season, but a likable veteran defenseman with plenty of poise.
Yeah, along with Polak, who they picked up, Robidas, he's been invaluable for the Toronto Maple Leafs. 904 games played. This guy, there's nothing he has not seen. And a very good player. Yes, he was a healthy scratch earlier when he struggled, which kind of left me thinking differently. He's a good player. He's been brought over here to not only lead on the ice, but off the ice. And a great veteran defenseman that, let's be honest, the Leafs haven't had for a long time.
And it took him a while to recover from the broken legs, even being a healthy scratch early this season. When these two teams met, he told me he was just unsure of plays he was making. As long as he's been in the league, he'd make a pass and then think, why did I make that pass?
And it's tough to come back. We see with a lot of guys now, this game is played at such high speed that when guys are injured for quite a long time, it's difficult for them to get their legs back under them and get that body back into game shape.
Sheahan tried to get it in front for Tatar. It didn't work. DeKeyser stepped up to Abdelkader. DeKeyser got one ahead for Tatar. Tried to swing one back for Riley. Sheahan didn't work. And the play goes offside. Well, we'll be talking high school football, and Abdelkader and DeKeyser, a big part of that. We'll tell you why when we return. You're watching Red Wings hockey on Fox Sports Detroit, presented by Bell Tire. Justin Abdelkader and Danny DeKeyser, still, when they think back to their high school days, they absolutely love it, and both very involved in their respective alumni. And sure enough, this coming weekend on Fox Sports Detroit, we've got the 1-8 division championships and then the D2 final Friday at 1 o'clock. Warren De La Salle, represented by Danny DeKeyser, and Muskegon Mona Shores, represented by the former quarterback Justin Abdelkader, who played 2 years there and only won 6 games total. Those two schools will clash, and both those players would have loved to have been at the game next weekend. Will be in New Jersey. They can't be there, but they both send their best to their respective schools. As it's sent in for Helm and stopped by Bernier off a nice feed from Danny Cleary.
Yeah, great play by Cleary. Beautiful stretch pass up the ice by the Wings defense and driving the net. Almost tied the game here. Bernier with another big save here in the second period.
Well, what a big weekend it's going to be on Fox Sports Detroit next weekend between hockey and the high school football championships. It's going to be terrific. And by the way, for Abdelkader's Mona Shores school, first time in school history, A, they're in the playoffs, and B, now in the finals. So good for them. Nazem Kadri flips one back on the near boards. Fired in by Santorelli. Offensive play there by Eriksson. Came free to Cody Franzen, and Jimmy Howard saw it all the way, and hold on.
Well, we're going to take a look at that last chance by the Red Wings. A beautiful stretch pass here by Nicholas Cromwell to Cleary, who makes a heads-up play, slows down just enough to allow Helm to break for the net. A nice save by Bernier, but look at the speed of Helm, skating beautifully now, skating fast, just like he did before all his injuries. And this guy has been playing very well of late. His game is getting better and better, like we said, by game. And Mike Babcock has been impressed and said, listen, when he's in the lineup, it rounds out their four lines. And not only that, he's a very good penalty killer, and he's been lethal on the draws this season.
He likes this building with that hat trick here last March. Overskated by Quincy. Kicked out and kept in by Peter Holland. Recovered by DeKeyser. Zetterberg got in the lane of the puck. Saw a hit coming from Clarkson. Quincy delayed well enough, found Zetterberg. Good outlet there by Detroit. Then Zetterberg was checked. Came free for Gus Nyquist, trying to get a step on Phaneuf. Nyquist keeps on going. There's going to be a penalty. And then Phaneuf took him down.
Well, Nyquist just avoiding Franzen, and then Phaneuf coming in battling for the puck with Nyquist. And it appears like the Red Wings will be going to the box once again. And Jan Franzen seems all not too happy that as he talks to the referee at center ice, they're not quite sure who got this penalty.
Well, it's Nyquist, but he didn't know. He was going to the bench. He said, really?
I think Nyquist gave Phaneuf just a little tug. It wasn't much of one. But the referee agreed and thought this was a penalty. As you see right here, just enough on the right glove of Phaneuf. The referee makes the call to put the Leafs on their 4th power play of the night to the Red Wings 1.
And that draw won again by Darren Helm. And with that, he'll go off. So he's been so good on the road, using him for the draws and right off and to make a quick change. So Glendening comes on with Miller. When we mentioned Chris Draper, he was saying to me earlier today, when we talked about playing center and being good on face-offs, he said, what I tell the guys like Helm and like Glendening, this is his 2nd year of playing center, is get to know the linesmen, get to know the folks who are dropping the puck. Good play by Miller. Once you get to know them and you develop a rapport, they may give you the benefit of the doubt on some. You know them, they know you, and you got to get to know the guys dropping the puck. Tendencies, you get to know them personally, best you can. Good advice. Phaneuf with a shot in front, knocked away, and Anderson will clear.
Wow, the Red Wings have been great getting the shooting lanes, knocking pucks with their sticks, and Quincy doing a great job of stepping up and knocking that shot pass down and getting it down the ice. And the Red Wings penalty kill continues to be great.
Carried in by Peter Holland. Couldn't finish on that one. Back for Franzen. Holland looked in down low. Clarkson, side of the net, saved by Howard. Scramble to get to the puck to Kaiser did. Bernier leaves it for Riley.
Showman.
Morgan Riley 6th in rookie defense points last season. Kadri couldn't get through. Miller calmly across and again down the ice. This time by Quincy.
Good job by the Red Wings to support each other along the ice. You can hear the guys communicating from up here too. Good talk.
Shoveled in back to the net. Quincy got a stick on it. And great job there to Glendening, and down it goes as the penalty is now over to Gus Nyquist.
Yeah, that 4-man unit is really playing together well right now. They're supporting each other all over the ice in the penalty kill, and really doing a great job here with 4 consecutive penalty kills this game.
And so the icing, so the face-off back in the Maple Leaf zone, and a chance for us to mention that the gift of hockey this holiday season is available. The Red Wings 5-game combos presented by Little Caesars are on sale now. Tickets to 5 Wing games, a GLI ticket, a free hot and ready pizza, and Red Wings car flag, all for as low as $195. Call 313-471-7575 now. And Tony Granato's the man in charge of the Red Wing penalty killing unit. And they're 2nd in the league, as we mentioned, and a perfect 4 for 4 tonight. Now, there's some discussion going on, and Tony Granato wants an explanation. That was to be an icing against Toronto, and he's still having words with the referee. There was some conversation, and now it turns out they were right in the beginning, and the Red Wings got what they wanted. Francois Saint-Laurent says, okay, we are going to take the face-off deep. There was some discussion there wouldn't be. There could be a penalty here or no? Let's see what's happening. Francois Saint-Laurent has gone back to the Red Wing bench now to explain to Granato what the story was. Oh, and Mike Babcock saying, okay, my fault. He wasn't sure. So they ought
to. It's a good job by the referee to go to the bench so when we explain it and get things worked out. It's a great job. Figured out what was going on. Let's move on from that point.
See, it's all about communication, isn't it? Tatar back of the net. Ouellette looks for a tip. They score! What a pass by Xavier Ouellette! And what a finish by Thomas Tatar! And there's an injured Leaf on the play in the corner. And that's Roman Polak, who's down.
Well, Polak got into a battle with Thomas Tatar in the corner. Tatar with the puck here. Polak goes to make the hit. Nice pass back to the point, but what a pass by Ouellette here. Great vision, head up, eyes up. Great pass to Tatar coming out of the corner after winning a puck battle and putting it into the open net. And Polak went down awkwardly after Tatar fell on top of his leg. And right away, Tatar does a great job of getting back up and making himself available. Tatar continues to stay hot for the Red Wings.
2 goals in Winnipeg. So he now has 8 goals the past 11 games. And plus 4 in that time. Remember, he had 1 goal the first 9. And he wound up with the winner off a beautiful setup by Justin Abdelkader, who had the tying goal. So 9 goals on the season for Thomas Tatar, tying Gus Nyquist for the team lead. And again, 8 goals his past 11 games. At the start of the year, Chris, I think the Red Wings would have thought that if Gus Nyquist and Thomas Tatar between them can score 50, last year Nyquist had 28, Tatar was second with 19. And look where they are right now. They're on pace to go way past that. Nyquist with 9 already, on pace to pass 28. And Tatar way on pace, already now with 9 to go past 19.
Yeah, well, these two are way on pace to blow those numbers away, and they've been great. Nyquist hot early, now Tatar gets hot. These two players, young players at that, are really progressing and growing right in front of our eyes in great plays. But Tatar, for me, the reason why he is now scoring more goals is he's doing little things right. He's playing better defensively. He's winning puck battles as he did on there. Yes, Polak got hurt, but he won a battle in the corner, and he didn't stand still. He moved his feet, got back to the net, and he's making himself available and putting himself in good positions, enabling himself to score these goals. Great pass by Ouellette, but Tatar doing a great job to get himself open and available for that fabulous pass to tie this game at 1.
Well, if you're going to get your first NHL point, as Xavier Ouellette just did, no better way to do it than on a beautiful feed that he just made to Thomas Tatar. And a double whammy there with the Leafs losing Polak on the back end. So it's a 1-1 tie. We'll be back.
Well, that man right there continues to stay hot, scoring his 9th goal this season on a beautiful battle in the corner here. He has the puck here. Look at Polak engaged in the battle, and Thomas Tatar doesn't step down, although they both go down. Polak injuring himself, whether he got his ankle cut underneath Tatar, but Tatar doing a great job. He's not on the outside looking in anymore. He's getting himself to the net. Did a great job of getting to the net, make himself available for that pass. And Polak seemed to have fallen down. Tatar falling on top of his ankles, and hopefully he's going to be all right. Unfortunate play for the Maple Leafs, not only get the goal, but to lose one of their better defensemen on that play.
And Tatar now with 4 goals the past 3 games. Ties up this one at ones, just past the halfway point in it. Clarkson with Holland and Winnick for Toronto. Zetterberg, Nyquist, and Franzen. Nyquist carries through center. Dumps one past Phaneuf. Jammed it behind for Franzen, who got checked. Toronto's had 4 power plays in this game. Detroit just 1. So that may change. Howard out to stop it. Leafs in the midst of a change. So plenty of room here for the Red Wings. Komarov keeps a close eye on Quincy, who angled one out to center ice, but it was blocked by Robidoux. Then Kadri's pass was intercepted. Abdelkader carries in. Abdelkader, Shane and Tatar. Abdelkader came back to the line. Here's Ouellette. Leo Komarov. Ouellette knocked it down at center and gets it back from Tatar. First National Hockey League point for Xavier Ouellette, who carries to center. Rims it around the kick plate. Tatar tried to let it go back. Ouellette from the Leaf side of center will shoot it in. And Toronto looks to outlet. Jake Gardiner.
Well, Ken, the Red Wings have been really persistent in this game, and they believe as a team they can do it better, longer than any team in this league, and right now they're showing that again.
A reminder, our next Ice telecast comes your way on Monday from Joe Louis Arena at 7 o'clock. Our coverage begins with Red Wings Live. And Daniel Alfredsson, his terrific career coming to a close. He won't be back this season, and the announcement at some point will come in Ottawa. We think it won't be on Monday, any official announcement. And Ottawa lost this afternoon to St. Louis 3-2, but they're just 3 back of the Red Wings with a game in hand in the division, so it'll be a big game on Monday. The net is off the moorings, and Daniel Alfredsson got to play outdoors with the Red Wings and got things going at the big house with a big goal. And what a great career for Daniel Alfredsson, and fitting that the announcement when he makes it should come. He was an Ottawa Senator, let's be honest, and he still lives in the Detroit area. His kids love it there, and I'm sure he'll have a job wherever he wants one on the National Hockey League managerial side at some point.
Yeah, there's only one thing he has missing, and that's the Stanley Cup from an unbelievable career. This guy did everything that you could ask of a National Hockey League player, not only on the ice, but off the ice. This guy was a complete professional, great guy. He was so instrumental in helping these younger players that are now succeeding this year for the Red Wings and helping them last year and teaching them how to be pro.
He reached 1,000 points in 1,009 games, and first in Senators games played, goals, assists, points. What a career. There's 4 boys ranging in age from 4 to 12, all in school in the Detroit area. Last season, 49 points, tied with Nick Kronwall to lead the Red Wings in his career numbers. In the 17 seasons with Ottawa, he won the Calder Trophy way back in 95-96 when he scored 26 goals and had 61 points.
The 1,108 points to me is just an incredible number with one franchise. Obviously, the face of the franchise in his jersey should be up in the rafters in Ottawa one day.
And picked 133rd overall, too. Highest scorer from the 94 draft class. Zetterberg. And the team misses him down there, don't they? He was instrumental in that room last season.
You could really see the difference, not only in Detroit, but Ottawa. When you saw Ottawa play last season, they didn't have the same jam, didn't have the same leadership that they had with Alfredsson there. And these young guys really enjoyed having Alfredsson around, teaching them how to be a pro on the ice and how to react to bad situations and bounce back. And he was not only a player, he was a partial coach here last year as well. Great guy.
That's Trevor Smith, number 23, knocking it down ice. Recalled November 9th from the Toronto Marlies, their AHL franchise. Lead pass for Miller, but it will be icing. He didn't touch it, so the faceoff will come back in the Detroit zone. Jonathan Bernier getting the start tonight. James Reimer. He's had a hit-and-miss season as well. Last year with the coach, but signed an extension here. And it's been a carousel for the goaltenders, and Randy Carlyle isn't one to say, you're starting here, you're starting there, and likes to keep everything a secret. Would you like playing under that scenario?
No, because you never know where you're going to play. You never know what's going on. As goalies, you're a creature of habit. You like the one guy to be the 50, 60 game guy, the other guy to be the 20, the 25 game guy. You know your role. You know which games you're playing. You can prepare yourself for that particular game, whether it be the third game in 4 nights, as the backup goaltender usually plays, but you're ready to go, and your job is sometimes to steal that game.
Face-off will come right back from whence it came, as this will be another icing against Detroit.
Well, the Red Wings have really battened down the hatches here in the second period. Leafs only with 4 shots. Red Wings really have been territorial. Back down in Toronto Maple Leafs zone for the most of the second period.
Off the draw, though, they get a chance there, but it was blocked. Kronwall got in front of that, and then Jimmy Howard poked that puck off to the corner with a pad save. Santorelli behind the goal to Nazem Kadri. Kadri goes to the line to Jake Gardiner, and a good toe stop there with the left pad by Howard. Santorelli with Komarov and Kadri. Kronwall for Jonathan Ericsson. Back to Kronwall as he sees his mates changing up front. Now Joachim Anderson heads to the bench to complete the change. His advocator over the boards with Sheahan and Tatar. Long pass ahead for Tatar. Looks to Sheahan, was heading to the front of the net. Tatar lifted one wide to Abdelkader right to the goal. and a save by Bernier, and smartly set up. Tatar to Abdelkader. We're tied at ones in period 2. Back in a moment on Fox Sports Detroit. Well, John, a man almost as famous as you, Gary Bettman, the NHL commissioner, here at the Air Canada Centre tonight, taking in this game between the Red Wings and the Maple Leafs.
Yeah, he's really done a good job with NHL, growing the game. In the United States and in Canada here, it's really grown as well. These buildings in Canada are sold out every single night, but hockey is really growing. Now it's growing in the Dallas, Texas area as well.
I wonder if he's mourning the loss of the dry scrape as of tonight. It's gone. Here's Van Riemsdyk cutting to the goal, and a save by Howard. He held it out. He was whirling around in there and careful not to carry that puck in past the goal line with him.
Nice power move here by this big forward. And Ouellette kind of gets crossed up at his own blue line, and defense partner comes across, but a good job. Good job there by Lashoff to push Van Riemsdyk, not let him have that angle to cut across on Jimmy Howard, and Jimmy Howard stood his ground on that play, making a nice save, and really the first chance the Leafs have had all period.
Van Riemsdyk, who had 30 goals and 61 points last season, both personal bests. Acquired for Luke Schenn, former 5th overall draft pick. And Riemsdyk comes in now, the former Flyer, to take the draw with Zetterberg, who won that one. And Van Riemsdyk couldn't risk being tossed out of the circle, or there would have been a penalty for a second face-off violation. That's why you don't see many players tossed out anymore this season, and no more delay tactics allowed by the league. Franzen pushed Phaneuf to the boards, and he's slow to get up. No penalty on the play. Good forecheck there by Franzen to finish Phaneuf, who didn't like it, nor should he have to. They're still having words with Franzen.
Yeah, we talk about communication. Well, sometimes good play by Franzen to be heavy on big Phaneuf. The Red Wings have done a great job this period of forechecking, really putting pressure on the Leaf defense, which really is their weak point. In the first period, the Red Wings really weren't forechecking. Now they're really going after the Maple Leaf defense this period, and they were with one goal for it and had numerous other chances. With Franzen out, they have to do good. They have to be sure to get pucks deep and make this defense turn and attack the net.
And that's one of those plays where Franzen was pushing the boards, and Phaneuf moved his body position to go down, which made it look worse and put himself in a vulnerable spot.
It's a great non-call.
Yep.
It's a puck battle for the puck, and I love seeing that. Let that stuff go.
Yurko gets to that puck first for Cleary. Cleary put it out front. Gardner knocked it away, gave it back to Yurko, though. Then Ouellette with a shot that just went wide. Helm moved up on it. Yurko stops Santorelli. Persistent forecheck by the Red Wings and Jake Gardner. Up one into the Red Wing zone. Gardner's been prone to the giveaways early on in his young career with Toronto. Cody Franzen goes back to get it. Came over from Nashville with Matthew Lombardi. As the Leafs took Lombardi's contract as part of the deal that sent Brett Lebda to the Predators, but Franzen turned out to be the key in that deal. And he's been very good on the Leafs blue line. Dumped in as DeKeyser's got it. Quincy ahead, Miller not out. Miller regained control and is away with Anderson and Glendening. Out to play it is Jonathan Bernier. But Quincy just kicked it back into Anderson and on now to Glendening. Former running back in Grand Rapids in his high school days. Around for Miller. Miller tried to center to Anderson and is kicked away and back down ice.
Good end zone time to that line. Again, that fourth line's been great this entire road trip.
Good feed into Abdelkader. Dropped it back to Tar. Oh, a great diving play. Romanov, terrific defensive effort, but Tatar persists with it. It's loose. Tatar again. In a rising shot high. Abdelkader, Tatar, and a save by Bernier. That slap in by Ouellette. And a stop in play.
Wow. Well, when you're hot, this puck seems to follow you around. Tom Tatar, if not for an unbelievable play by the veteran Robidoux to to spoil that great opportunity, but watch the persistence of Tatar staying on this puck with another opportunity here. And again, sticking with it again, shoots over top of the net, continues moving, and he actually had another chance on net there, but Thomas Tatar feeling it right now. He's getting some more opportunities. Great play by Robidas to spoil that great chance.
Zetterberg won that face-off. Nyquist, Kronwall had moved in. They got crossed up. That allows Winnick to carry to the goal. Backhander just wide as he bumped into Howard. No harm done, they said. Back for Franzen. Left-hand shot, right wing. Couldn't cut to the middle. Cody Franzen is there for the Maple Leafs. Chipped ahead, but nowhere near Winnick. Howard will shoot it around. The tap right back by Peter Holland. Now given up by the Leafs, and away comes Zetterberg, stumbling a bit at center. A looper into the corner. Gardner forced by Franzen, who finished his check on the Leaf defenseman. Sheahan off the bench, moving in on Franzen. Riley Sheahan gets some help in there. Tatar right back out for Abdelkader. Back in for Sheahan, back to Tatar, and just tapped wide. Boy, Sheahan made a nice play. Maybe had a chance to shoot it, at least on a backhand, but pretty effort by that line again. Right back with them they came. Here's Tatar off a swing pass. Into Abdelkader. Down low. Back in the slot for Sheahan. He missed it. Abdelkader and Quincy were away. Now they trade chances both ends. Drop back by Robidas. Then Riemsdyk along with Kessel, and it's into the glove. And Howard will hold on. As Tatar says, thanks, Jimmy. Way to go.
A little miscommunication at the Red Wings blue line. Maple Leafs coming in a chance here. The Red Wings doing a great job, though, keeping them to the outside. The poise of the Red Wings defense has been incredible this whole road trip. And nice play by Winnick to use that big body. Nyquist doing anything and everything he can, keeping away, and Howard stays strong again. And Sheahan with an unbelievable spin around the pass to Tatar. Just goes off the tip of his stick. That would have been his second of the game. And wow, that puck just seems to be following Tatar around right now. Great plays all around by that line. Line's going to be out there a lot the rest of this game. They're hot tonight.
Back to the point it comes. Riley a shot. Howard will squeeze that. And a word from the Leafs room is that Roman Polak will not return tonight. So the Maple Leafs are down to 5 defensemen, and their steadiest and biggest hitter, Randy Carlyle, now without Roman Polak for the rest of this night after that Tatar collision when Tatar had scored the goal. Trevor Smith getting in. So Riley is moved up to be paired with Dion Phaneuf, who goes from playing the left side back to the right side, which Dion prefers, even if the Leafs don't prefer him playing there. So for the youngster Riley, playing the left side may be a little bit easier for him. So Dion makes that adjustment. The play goes offside at the Red Wing line with 1:14 to go in period 2, and a chance for you to enter to win a trip to see your Red Wings on the road back here December 13th, which will be the 5th and final meeting with the Leafs with the Flagstar Bank Ultimate Road Trip Sweepstakes. To enter for a chance to win, go to foxsportsdetroit.com. Season series tight. Red Wings have won the last 4 over the Leafs. 5-0-1 the past 6 with Toronto. Both meetings this season so far won by the team in white tonight. Gardner intercepted. Helm came over. Kadri kept it in. Thomas Jurko for Xavier Ouellet. Ouellet was hit. Played by Lashoff for Helm. Out of Ouellet's reach. Nazem Kadri back together. Gardner to Robidas. Sliced in by Komarov. Komarov with a big hit on Helm. 25 seconds to go in period 2. Red Wings regroup. Quick feed to Zetterberg. Pulled it back. Helm tired, wants to go to the bench. Zetterberg 1-on-5. Just picked up by Quincy. The Red Wings just escaped too many men on the ice. Good hop at the boards as the second period comes to a close. So the Red Wings get one back. Tatar from Ouellette, his first NHL point, and Lashoff to tie the game. Our MGM Grand Detroit second intermission. The Red Wings penalty kill perfect tonight at 4 for 4. More on that, thanks to Tony Granato in large part, with Darren and John in the studio. Well, a great reception this week at the Hockey Hall of Fame. Mike Babcock and the Red Wings all made the trip. Chris Osgood was there, in part for Dominik Hasek. Great to see Pat Burns go in posthumously, and the terrific referee Bill McCreary. And Mike Modano's speech was terrific. Big week at the Hockey Hall of Fame. Today's fun fact is brought to you by Southgate Lincoln. On this date, way back in 1927, there's the great old barn. The Detroit Cougars played the first game in Olympia Stadium against the then Ottawa Senators. There were Senators long before expansion and Senators again from the 90s. Detroit lost that game 2-1, and their all-time record at Olympia, a terrific record. And Thomas Tatar set a great record of late too, with 8 goals his past 10 hockey games and 2 periods, and 9 on the season, tying Nyquist for the team lead, and he got the tying goal in this one, and that's where we stand. Shots are 22-18. There's in favor of Detroit, and there's the goal scorer for Toronto who gave them the lead, and the Leafs a perfect 7-0 when scoring first. But the Red Wings have had 5 come from behind wins already this season. 2 from a couple of 2-goal deficits, so they never give up attitude, and the third is underway with Nyquist carrying through. And a save by Bernier. Quincy back to Nyquist, who's up with Franzen and Zetterberg. Kyle Quincy moved in, and again the Leafs down to 5 defensemen, with Roman Polak on for the rest of the night with a lower body injury. Dion Phaneuf chipped out to center, a break here, just onside. Hauling the shot, and Jimmy Howard stopped that one easily. Looking very calm. Peter Holland, who's learning how to be a pro. He's a skilled guy, good in the American Hockey League. Former first-round pick of Anaheim in 2009. Had a good opportunity there to break in.
And Jimmy Howard made a tough save look easy, playing so calm, so in control. Holland with a nice wrist shot on a 2-on-1, and Quincy made a good decision at the blue line to retreat and play that 2-on-1. Did a very good job keeping Holland on the outside, and Howard makes a good save.
That shot right off the draw, just over top of the net. Richard Panik, number 18 for Toronto. Went back to the line, and Howard deflects that aside. Panik scored here in the win over Tampa Bay on Thursday for the Maple Leafs. A former Lightning player picked up by Toronto on waivers. Miller's shot deflected aside by Bernier. Glendening took a high hit. And the puck goes up and out of play. The Leafs will argue it should be outside. While I have a moment, I want to ask you, how was Hall of Fame on Monday night in Dominik Hasek?
It was great. It was amazing to see all the guys again. You see all the players. Brett Hall was around. A lot of guys. Robert Lang, you run into a lot of guys that you played with. And I didn't play with Biron. All the goalies that Dominik Hasek played with that I've never met before. All great guys. But Ken, what you touched on there was Modano's speech. I thought all 6 speeches were so good under a lot of pressure in front of some really, really high people in hockey. You got up there, and the speeches were wonderful, each and every one of them.
And what they talk about the parents, and to see their parents there, it's a marvelous night, for sure. And I guess the after parties were no good, huh?
They were terrible and really boring, and I'd never go back ever.
I'm sure you wouldn't. Riley puts it into the corner, turning his Bozak back to the line to Riley. Quincy will take that puck. Phaneuf knocked it down for Toronto, then he gets pushed to the boards. Quincy delays around for Tatar. Safe play out to center ice.
Good play by Danny DeKeyser in front of his own net. To be tough on Van Riemsdyk and not allow him to get position on in front of Jimmy Howard. He's been good at that all season, and that's invaluable. Being strong and tough in front of your own goal.
Yurko came back to intercept from Komarov. Then Gardner took it away from Darren Helm. Swinging wide, Nazem Kadri. Kadri back of the net. To an open Jake Gardner. Tees it up. Hit a body. Reflects near side. Good play there by Helm to hit Zanarelli. Then Ouellette. Knocked down by Kadri. And the puck will roll right to Jonathan Bernier.
You know what? That's a good play by Ouellette. Take a hit to make a play. A young player. Very wise out there.
Jonathan Ericsson with Kronwall. They got sandwiched by Holland. Looking for that loose puck was Winnick. Holland put it back to the line. Robidas swings one across for Phaneuf. As Robidas playing the left side with Phaneuf, had to take that one on his backhand. That's the difference, but the Red Wings know all about that. Having no right-handed defenders in their lineup. Glendening the righty up front. Bernier delayed, and then Franzen closed quickly on Phaneuf. Pass through to Winnick at center. Set in by Robidas. Stopped by Howard. He played it up high. Knocked down by Holland. Clarkson back of the goal. Zetterberg got a step on him as Quincy gets one up. Yurko through center. For Abdelkader. Back in front. Oh, and just sent high in a hook. And yeah, Yurko's asking, and they got a penalty in behind. But Yurko's saying he was hooked on the way to the goal. He looked back at Mike Lego going, what's up?
I definitely thought there could have been hooking called initially on the chance by Yurko, firing the puck higher over the net, and then Robidas really finishing off Abdelkader from behind into the heavy glass here in Toronto. But here's the chance by Yurko, an obvious hook which was called the other way earlier in the game when the Red Wings player did that against Toronto. And then after this opportunity by Yurko, who did receive a hook, chipping the puck over, and Robidas, really dangerous play, a couple of feet away from the boards, pushing Abdelkader on the numbers into the boards, and luckily no injury to Abdelkader. Robidas will be in the penalty box.
In fact, there could have been 2 penalties on that same play, but the first one, as you said earlier in the game, they'll call that 100% of the time. Exact same play.
Exact same play that the Red Wings were called on a penalty for hooking. That was even worse, actually, because that was a chance on net, a grade A opportunity by Yurko that was foiled by a hook. That wasn't called, but nonetheless, Red Wings on the power play from hit from behind on Robidas on Abdelkader.
And Zetterberg will start with Abdelkader and Nyquist. Abdelkader with 6 goals in the season, all of them at even strength. As that puck is knocked away. And a race in as Bozak's in alone and scores!
This is just an ill-advised pass here, right when it goes back off the face-off, right there by Nyquist. Ill-advised pass back to Cromwell, who has no opportunity to catch the speedy Bozak, who makes a nice backhand move against Jimmy Howard, putting it high. But whether it was a miscommunication or it's the play that Nyquist probably and should have not made at the blue line for the Red Wings when you're on the power play off a draw, puts the Maple Leafs up 2-1 on the goal by Bozak. But Nyquist, who's so smart with that puck, definitely making a mistake on that one.
As Howard is forced to hold on, Bozak gets his 7th goal of the season and the 4th shorthanded goal by the Maple Leafs, second to only the Kings' 5.
Yeah, the Red Wings winning the draw back, and Nyquist just mishandled the puck just a bit there, as well did Kronwall, and Bozak's off to the races. Kronwall, no opportunity to pick him up, goes to the backhand high over Jimmy Howard, but Red Wings really gift wrap that one for the Maple Leafs to put him up 2-1.
That goal coming at 3:44 of the 3rd period. So the Bell Tire power play continues. Second shorthanded goal given up by Detroit this season. Looking to make amends here. Here's Tatar, and he mishandled. De Keyser dropped it back to Yurko. On for Tatar, now to Riley Sheahan. A break here. Howard came way out to stop that on Smith.
Well, the Red Wings have given up now a breakaway to Bozak. And a 3-on-2 on their power play. Really, their power plays look so good. in this game and games previous, and this is really the first time where their power plays look like the power play of old earlier in the season. Just look like they're not as crisp as they usually are, not getting pucks to the net, not attacking the net off face-offs, and they've really done a good job of that of late. Got to get back to it here in the remaining of this power play.
Franzen has to go back and get it and gives it to Kronwall. Nyquist and Zetterberg and Abdelkader for the Red Wings. Came free to Nyquist. Good move. Takes the shot, but Bernier saw it all the way as Zetterberg was getting hacked in front of the net. In part by the other captain in this game.
Good job by the Red Wings to attack off the rush, realizing the opportunity. Nyquist dips and dives in, and a wrist shot easily saved by Bernier right in the breadbasket. But I like when the Red Wings attack off the rush, and when they see an opportunity, take it. Don't wait. Don't set that power play up. Take shots on net. Got to get to the net here on Bernier. He's looked solid tonight, so they got to get somebody in front of his eyes.
Abdelkader moved up, able to get it from Franzen. He comes back here, Kronwall for Johan Franzen. Kronwall to Zetterberg. Too hot to handle off his skate. Couldn't take it back in. And the Leafs will clear it down as the attempted pass went astray. 12 seconds remaining in this Bell Tire power play. Dangerous pass back, but Nyquist got it through. Franzen tries to catch up, gets some help from Zetterberg. Back to Franzen in front of the goal. Oh, and Abdelkader with the opportunity there just as the power play expired, and Bernier able to stop number 8, Justin Abdelkader.
Nice play all around. Red Wings with a beautiful tic-tac-toe passing play to Abdelkader. Attacking the zone here. Franzen, nice give and go with Zetterberg, who puts it out front to Abdelkader. Bernier, nice side-to-side push along the ice to make that save, and Zetterberg, beautiful seeing-eye pass, backhand pass to Franzen, who spins around the net, pass to Abdelkader. But this is great playmaking and a great save. Bernier equal to the task with a nice side-to-side push on his knees across the net with no rebound, which is important as well.
On the left side, Anderson came in to take this face-off. A scramble draw that the Red Wings come up with. They've won 65% of the face-offs tonight. Another good night in the dock for Detroit. Now they have to get even in the game, though. And Howard will hold on to this.
Red Wings got to stay persistent. They've been poised all night long. Yes, it was a mistake on the power play to put the Leafs up 2-1, but they've played good up until this point. Have to continue to play like they are, stay persistent, and play better longer than Maple Leafs, and they should be successful in the end tonight.
De Kaiser forced by Josh Levo. Miller. Glendening first on it. For Anderson. Miller spins back, taken to the boards by Trevor Smith. Riley around to Josh Levo. What a great preseason for Toronto. And some of the injuries to the Leafs have opened a spot. Joffrey Lupul still out. David Booth, who's gone to the Marlies, the American Hockey League, for conditioning. And Brandon Kozun, who hurt his ankle against Detroit in the game in here, a high ankle sprain. So the Leafs missing some forwards up front. Lupul out with a broken right hand. Van Riemsdyk. Loose puck. Kessel trying to break free, but he's got the speed of Helm to contend with. Who got there to beat him to the puck?
Nice defensive posture by Darren Helm, using that speed and strength to get back and foil the opportunity by Kessel, who's dangerous when he gets that puck in that area in front of the net.
And he can be fleet of foot too. And a good guy to catch him in Helm. Eriksson pressured immediately. Cleary hopped over his stick. Point shot went off Van Riemsdyk. Off Gardner's stick. Bozak back for Van Riemsdyk. Kessel was going to the front of the goal. Van Riemsdyk didn't see him. They got crossed up. That allows Jonathan Eriksson to make the play for Cleary. Tipped through into the Toronto end. Cody Franzen sets up. Tatar is out with Sheahan and Abdelkader. from across center and tip, but this one up and out of play. So with that, we'll step out. And when we come back, you want to talk Hall of Fame? Well, that 0-2 Cup-winning Red Wing team, chock full of them. More on that in a moment. Well, that 01-02 Stanley Cup team, yes, a Hall of Fame group for sure. And coming next year to the Hockey Hall of Fame here in Toronto, Nicholas Lidstrom and Sergei Fedorov eligible. They'll be in. Pavel Datsyuk, we hope not for a while. He continues to play. All now time for our AT&T U-verse Rewind. Chris Osgood.
Well, there's not a lot of things I regret in my career, but this is one of them. Wish I was on that team for that. A great bunch of guys. Had the pleasure, which wasn't fun sometimes, playing against these guys when I was with the Islanders, and wow, were those good games.
And Dominik Hasek going in this season, he too had a very nice speech.
He did a very, very good job. Dominik Hasek deserving to go in and had a great speech. His old coaches from Buffalo, his coaches Jim Bedard here in Detroit, thanking them. A unique goalie, deserving of going to the Hall of Fame, and that's for sure.
And Brendan Shanahan now in the big role as Howard comes out and stops Kessel again. Brendan Shanahan, president of the Toronto Maple Leafs, and his star player Phil Kessel. And even Brendan was being criticized for not speaking out enough, but I think he's just laying back, letting things go here, learning the personnel, learning what he's got, and in time we'll make moves.
It's a process building an NHL team to be successful and be a Stanley Cup contender, and Brendan Shanahan, to me, is the perfect guy for the job. He's patient, relaxed, and if he wasn't, Randy Carlyle wouldn't be here already. So he's doing a good job, just sitting back, seeing how things work out, and he's going to make the right decisions when he has to.
And Zetterberg gets it ahead. Franzen for Nyquist. Franzen drove the goal. Zetterberg from a sharp angle off the outside of the net. Zetterberg spins back in behind, gets checked by Cody Franzen. Franzen on Clarkson. And Peter Holland will just lift it out to center. This line's been against the Zetterberg unit most of the night. Zetterberg couldn't get through. Clarkson's got it. Away with Holland. 3 Red Wings are back. And the play is offside. And the face-off will come back to neutral ice as the Leafs were offside. Well, give thanks for Red Wings hockey with the $59 fan pack when the Wings take on the Flyers this coming Wednesday, November 26th. Just prior to Thanksgiving, you'll get 2 tickets, 2 food vouchers, and 2 soft drinks. Always a big night right before the big night. For tickets, go to DetroitRedWings.com now. Tatar, Shane, and Abdelkader. Gardner back for Toronto. Quincy moved in, backing up Tatar. Into the corner now. Abdelkader tries to take it from Jake Gardner. Tyler Bozak in for Toronto. Pushed it back for Robidoux. Kessel with a lead feed to Bozak. Got the shorthanded go-ahead marker here in the 3rd period for the Maple Leafs. Leafs who scored first tonight. Knocked away, and here's a break. Abdelkader leaves it there. Tatar brings it in. Tatar still with it. Oh, and it was just behind Sheahan, and Quincy couldn't pick it up. Over the head of Abdelkader. Tatar knocked it back his way. Abdelkader knocked down by Robidoux, or by Bozak. Then Tatar gets held. Delayed penalty here to Toronto. Loose to the corner for Sheahan. Howard to the bench for an extra skater. Kept in by Ouellet. Over to Lashoff. Zetterberg, the extra skater, has it. Zetterberg cuts to the goal. He's right in! And that was stopped. Zetterberg tried to get it again, but intercepted. And a call here against the Maple Leafs for holding. So the Red Wings will head to a power play 9 seconds past the halfway point in the 3rd period on Fox Sports Detroit. Franzen, a long-time Red Wing, and will continue to be. The numbers tonight, playing just under 14 minutes as the Red Wings head to the power play. And our Red Wings player fact is brought to you by Motor City Casino. And if he gets 1 more point, as you look at the all-time scoring list, He'll be even with Chris Draper. And as we mentioned earlier, with all the Little Caesars, 02, 03, 04 teams in town for a big hockey tournament, and his son playing in one this weekend. Maybe Franzen, with a point in this power play, can get even with Chris, and I don't think Chris would mind it one bit. Means tying up the hockey game. So Bell Tire power play here for Detroit. Draw one by Zetterberg. Last power play, Toronto scored shorthanded. The Red Wings can get that one back here. Zetterberg to Kronwall, and intercepted by Bozak, and that goes up and out of play. Well, Justin Applicator, I mentioned, has 6 goals in the season, all at even strength, and that's the norm for him. He had an empty net goal in a 2-0 home win over Vancouver on February 3rd. It was a power play goal. His first and only career power play goal in his 346 games played. So he's never scored a power play goal with a goalie in the net. Maybe tonight. Who knows? Howard will leave it as the Red Wings set up. Nyquist couldn't get it to Franzen. Easy tap back for Toronto.
Well, Toronto's really holding that line. The Red Wings got to get pucks deep. Their passing has not been as crisp on the power play as it was earlier in this game. And the one power play they had previously, the last 2, have really looked discombobulated a bit. They got to get back to simplifying it and getting pucks to that net.
Zetterberg found Nyquist. It was blocked by Franzen. Kronwall, hard pass. Zetterberg, fake shot. Now in back of the goal, Nyquist to Zetterberg. Back to the line. Johan Franzen to Zetterberg. The Red Wing captain looks. Down low, Applicator tipped it. Kronwall moving in from his defense position. Kronwall back to the line and over Franzen's stick.
Wild Leafs retired on that too. Unfortunate break for the Red Wings. That's skipping over Franzen, sticking out of the zone.
Zetterberg keeps control of it. In back of the goal, hustling in his helm as the Red Wings changing up their power play unit. Riley cleared it. It was held in, though, by Franzen. Now he'll go for a change with time winding down to the man advantage. Red Wings' 3rd power play of this game. 8 to go in the 3rd period. Brought in by Yurko. To Kaiser to Tatar as the power play is over. Loose. Yurko in back of the goal in front, and Sheahan missed it. He had a great chance to get the Red Wings back on even terms. In back of the net. Helm leaving it there for Sheahan. Back in front for Helm. Still loose in front of the goal. And cleared down the ice. This will be icing against the Maple Leafs. Red Wings 0 for 3 in the power play.
Oh, the Wings with some great opportunity. Helm doing a good job using his body to shield the puck. Puts it back here right in front. Get a nice little give and go with screen in front, with bodies in front. The puck doesn't find its way through. Yurko doing a good job to use his big body as well to make sure that Bernier can't see this. That's a big time possibility. That ties the game up. Leafs running around a bit in their own zone. Red Wings doing a good job of getting pucks to the net. Got to keep doing that for the remainder of this game.
Boy, Winnick's blade just broke right off his stick as he was trying to clear that puck away.
Amazing how those sticks break so easy to this day.
Well, you get that little structure break when you're slashed at earlier in the game, and the next time you need to play it, off it goes. Tatar took a shot, blocked. He's done a good job getting sticks in the lanes. Shots are close. The game is close. Quincy beat Kessel to the puck. Tipped by Cleary. That worked perfectly. On to Tatar. On to Cleary. Backhander went wide of the goal. Glendening moves in against Bozak. Danny Cleary threw it into the slot. Nobody there. Back at center is to Kaiser. Glendening. As Cleary goes up there. Kronwall moving in. Back of the net for Cleary. Tried to center. Miller still on the bench. He wants on. Cleary nowhere near it. Now Cleary will go off. End of a shift. So Zetterberg will come on now. Glendening tries to get in there. And Zetterberg joins Glendening and Anderson momentarily. The Leafs Robidoux. Broken up at center ice. Back for Glendening. Glendening gets shoved to the boards by Gardner. Under 6 to play in the third period. Gardner across center. Howard. He'll move it. Santorelli put it back of the goal. Last shot. Franzen couldn't keep control of it. And then Franzen at the point and a shot redirected. Santorelli! Oh, and it's out the other side. Jimmy Howard had no idea. He got a piece and rolled past him. And safely off to the corner. Leafs are offside. So with that, we'll step out. A close call for Toronto with 5:22 to go in the third. As the Red Wings dodge a bullet. Jimmy Howard didn't know, but made the save. We're back in a moment.
John Keating here with a studio update. The Canadiens in Boston, these two teams don't like each other. Second period, Brendan Gallagher with a miss, but Thomas Plekanec there to clean it up. It's 2-0 Montreal as they play in the third. We'll have more from that one, and of course all the post-game from Toronto, player reaction, and Trevor's one-on-one conversation with Mike Babcock post-game. But first, back to Toronto as the Wings are looking for some late-game heroics. Perhaps Ken and Ozzy, another come-from-behind win.
John, it's a close one here. Xavier Ouellet played 15 minutes and 24 seconds in his first career game now, or first game this season, now playing his second of the year.
Yeah, I'd say he's played 14 minutes so far in this game and looked very sharp. Made a play, taking a hit to make a play. Offensively, he's been really good. Eyes up, head up. Nice pass to Tatar for the Red Wings' only goal tonight. But this kid can do it all. He's good defensively. He's good offensively. He's got a good head. This guy's a leader. He's been a captain for a World Junior team. Won the Quebec Major Junior League Defenseman of the Year award. He's got a lot of accolades. This guy has a lot of upside, and he should be in a Red Wings uniform for many years to come.
Sixth career game tonight for Ouellet and getting his first National Hockey League point. Loose here for Tatar, but he couldn't break free from Morgan Riley. Tatar with it again, along with Sheahan, just out of his reach. Robidoux turning. Oh, Abdelkader had Robidoux lined up, just ducked. And as both went down, Abdelkader into the boards. Van Riemsdyk missed the net. Sheahan over there to get it. Too far for Abdelkader. Turned over at center. And offside as Kessel brought it in. Bozak hadn't cleared the zone. Well, join us again Monday when the Red Wings are back home to take on Ottawa. Our coverage begins at 7 with Red Wings Live. Red Wings Senators, Monday at 7. Fox Sports Detroit. The Red Wings lost in Ottawa 3-1, and one was one of their core outings of the season. Ottawa 3 back. Then in the outcome of this one, with a game in hand tonight, Ottawa lost to St. Louis this afternoon 3-2.
And their goaltender, Craig Anderson, who seems to have his mojo back after having an off year last year, played Red Wings very well in that game in Ottawa.
Well, as you saw those numbers right there, Chris, with under 5 to play in the third, it's a good time for the Red Wings. They've had success this season in that regard. Nyquist delays, looks for a crowd. Didn't shoot the puck, though. Taken away by Holland. Nyquist coming back on him. Holland scores! Rough night for Gus Nyquist.
That's a tough giveaway for Gustav Nyquist on a play he probably should have shot the puck a lot earlier. Elected to hold on to it, not once but twice. Nyquist cutting into the middle here. Previous to that, he had 2 opportunities to shoot that puck to give away to Holland, who out-muscles and out-skates Nyquist to the net after the turnover with a beautiful shot up high over the blocker of Howard, and the Red Wings go down 3-1. But Red Wings, you could say, should be shooting more in this period. Tatar's had a few chances to shoot, hasn't. And Nyquist right there, twice elected not to shoot, and in the end cost the Red Wings a goal, down 3-1 now.
And this icing against Detroit. So a 2-goal lead. Peter Holland, as I mentioned, was learning how to be a pro, a skilled guy, and put up nice numbers in the American Hockey League, and some AHL success has helped him here. And Gus Nyquist, tonight you just have nights like that.
Ken, to me, this is the progression still of Tatar and Nyquist. They've been so hot. They've played so well this year. They've scored goals. Now maybe they're trying a little bit too much out there. Less is more. Gold time, Tatar a couple chances to shoot earlier. Nyquist elected to not shoot twice, and in the end, he turned the puck over. He had Franzen in front of the net for the screen on the first opportunity to shoot, and that's when he should have shot and gave it them, the Red Wings, a chance to score a goal. Instead, held on to it too long. I think, if anything, learn from it. Less is more.
Well, it was a 1-1 tie after 40 minutes of play, and the Leafs have struck for 2 here in the third period. And the Red Wings need some real magic now. Yurko was hit hard. 5 come from behind wins and a couple of 2-goal deficits for the Red Wings, and they'll need a third here.
They're going to have to push the pace now. They're going to have to activate that defenseman, bring up 4 in the attack. Let's take a look at big boys. Big play of the game, and Thomas Tatar on a beautiful pass from the youngster Roulette. Back door. Tatar burying that puck to stay hot with his 9th of the season. That tied it up at 1 against the Maple Leafs. Tatar really battling the corner against the Leaf defender. Getting up, getting to the net. Little spark plug he is. Great goal by Tatar. He's been great tonight again for the Red Wings. Really carrying the offense with the absence of Pavel Datsyuk, along with Gustav Nyquist as well, playing very well besides the turnovers. Red Wings are going to really have to push forward here, activate the defense, and try and get a goal here right away to get to within 1.
Leafs hold it in at the line. Roulette. No icing. Cody Franzen looked and said, how was I going to get that? But Phaneuf has it deep in the Toronto zone. Tipped by Van Riemsdyk. De Keyser chased by Tyler Bozak. Bozak, who scored a beautiful short-handed goal. And he can score when he gets the chance. Led the NHL in shooting percentage last season. Right now, that stands up as the difference maker. That was the 2-1 goal after the teams were tied at 1 after 40. Jimmy Howard, with 2:40 to play, is going to the bench for an extra skater. So the Red Wing net is empty. Mike Babcock, as is his wont, doesn't wait. Gardner forced there by Helm. Chipped by Daniel Winnick to center. And knocked out of play by Quincy. 2:22 to go in the third period. Red Wings down by 2, the net empty. But Jimmy Howard will be coming back in.
There seems to be a trend now with NHL coaches around the league is to pull the goalie earlier. It used to be right around 1 minute. I know it's a 2-goal lead for Toronto, but even when teams have these 1-goal leads now, see the goaltender sometimes leaving at that 2-minute mark, 1:30 at the very least. I like it though. It adds a little more pressure on the team. More of an opportunity to try and tie the game up, leaving yourself more time.
So 2 unassisted goals in the third have given Toronto the lead. And the Red Wings with Howard going to the bench again, but it's offside. Are they going to say all the way down intentional? Yes, they are. So Jimmy Howard, right when he got to the bench, has to come back now.
Well, that's an odd call. The puck seemed to barely squeak over that blue line. Red Wing player probably unaware that it was offside. Tough call. Tough call to go against the Red Wings here with 2:13 left in the third period, down by 2. You have to draw, come all the way back in your own zone.
So Glendening on this face-off with Daniel Winnick. Winnick came up with it with some help from Holland. Saved by Howard. Zetterberg will rebound. Howard edging out. He'll go to the bench. Good pass by Zetterberg to Franzen and a bouncer into Bernier, who will hold it for a face-off. Net empty Detroit with just under 2 to play in the third period, down by 2. And looks like there's going to be a timeout here. Or will there be? Let's see. Not yet. Mike Babcock and Tatar and getting ready to go, and Sheahan telling them what he'll want next time they're out. So no timeouts yet. Phaneuf wrapped it around. Moving up was to Kaiser. Cleared away, loose puck and an empty net. Bozak's away, and he's got his second of the night to seal it 4-1.
Maple Leafs will put this game away for good with that goal. Put them up 4-1 by Bozak into the empty net. Red Wings just could not get control of this puck with the goaltender pulled. Really loose pucks won by the Toronto Maple Leafs. Just a tap off the boards in a puck race that Bozak obviously win very quick. Cromwell no opportunity to get across the ice to even have a chance of catching Bozak, and the Maple Leafs go up 4-1 here.
Anderson. So earlier this season, the Red Wings came in here and beat Toronto 4-1. The Leafs with a payback. Red Wings won the other in overtime on Zetterberg's night. And the winner back at the Joe 1-0. So the first time in 5 tries, Toronto is going to beat the Red Wings. And just like we promised earlier in the game, it's Miller time, brought to you by Miller Lite and the difference maker in this game.
Bozak's goal to put the Leafs up 2-1, a little miscommunication. Turnover at the Red Wings blue line by Nyquist, and Bozak comes in with a nifty move, forehand to backhand high over the glove of Howard. The Red Wings more or less gift wrap that, just like they have many of the goals tonight that the Leafs have scored to put them up 4-1.
So the Leafs are going to win a second straight after beating Tampa Bay in here. They beat Boston a few weeks back 6-1. So they've beaten some good teams, and then they get blown out by Buffalo and Nashville. So as we said off the top, a roller coaster season for this home team.
And Buffalo's had Toronto's number. That's another one of those weird things, weird stats that go on in the National Hockey League. They own the Toronto Maple Leafs, but, you know, really shows some fortitude here to come back after 2 really tough losses and beat a good Lightning team, and a Red Wing team has been playing very, very well.
Toronto with 24 points. And after this game tonight, Detroit will stay at 25. And the Red Wings will still have a game in hand on the Maple Leafs. And the good news for the Red Wings, and that Ottawa lost today. With 15 seconds left, and the fans here at the Air Canada Centre, despite a lack of saluting last game that Toronto played here after they won, the fans here at the Air Canada Centre stand. Well, winning cures all, doesn't it?
A couple of wins will earn some forgiveness. And the Toronto Maple Leafs have played very well the last 2 games, and Red Wings really playing well, other than just giving away all 3 of the goals, gift wrapping them for the Toronto Maple Leafs, and the Maple Leafs go away with a 4-1 victory.
It'll be very interesting to see what the Maple Leafs do. I wouldn't expect that they would salute again after they didn't, saying they were just changing up their routine, but yes, they do. See? And the fans, well, this will get them back on good terms. The salute's back. Everything's fine, at least for tonight in Toronto. Tomorrow will be another story. John and Darren, take it away.